All right. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I hope everyone's doing amazing because I know I am. My name is Chad. I'm a motion designer, and I'm learning to draw every day just to prove to people that it's not that bad. Now, new month, new challenge. Let's go. Okay. First of all, let me get some water in my system. If you haven't drank water, go ahead. This is a water reminder. And yeah, so we're doing anatomy again, I suppose. It's going to be great. I feel like in my past experiences with just learning overall, I feel like I absorb the information of the course of whatever I'm learning a bit late. That's a pattern that I'm seeing. And it's basically two things, either one of two things, right? The first thing is that's just how my brain works, and that I just like need myself to give myself time to process the information, and that's completely fine. Like I'm not gonna be bothered by it. It's just the mere fact that I know it already helps, so that's great. It's either that, or I can actually get better at learning and sort of like find a way to absorb the information in a more efficiently, right? And yeah, either way, I'm happy. I'm going to strive for the second sort of like proposition, and if that didn't work, I'm not gonna stress it. I'm good, right? I'm already like doing fine with anatomy, just like as you can see here. Like that's not that bad. Like I wouldn't expect myself to be drawing this type of stuff a few months back, right? So this is great, and I chose this this brush because it does not allow me any room for just like, oh, dude, I like it, for you know, doing any sort of chicken scratching. If I'm gonna get chicken scratchy with this brush, it's gonna show, alright? And it's not gonna be very pretty. But if I'm going over the shapes, whoa. Dude, stop. If I'm going over the shapes like just like this, and this one goes here, and this one goes here, and this one goes here, and you know, stuff like that. Now I'm training myself to just like be more responsible for my strokes. Let me finish this real quick since I started it. And so yeah, we're going to pick up, by the way, this is another thing that I've recently learned. I recently read a book. It's called How to Steal Like an Artist, and it doesn't sound like it doesn't condone what it sounds like. It's a really brilliant book. It's a great book, right? I feel like its content kind of like maybe comes off as natural for some people, but it's interesting because it does help that the people that who don't get that as naturally, you know what I'm saying? You know, me included. And so what it says is you can just pick an artist. Just pick an artist that you love so much. And by the way, we're not talking about like one artist here, just like one. We're talking about however the number is, whatever the number of artists you like is. Most probably you're going to be liking like just like maximum like one or two artists in a specific field, right? For example, oh my god. For example, when it comes to illustration, For example, I do love PROKO, and who else? Really, PROKO is the only one that I actually can follow blindly. Yeah, and Psychra. Psychra doesn't really have anything just like well thought out and well put for his videos, so maybe I'll need to dig in more into his videos to find that. But when it comes to PROKO, PROKO offers a multitude of courses, some free, some free stuff on YouTube, and some of the paid stuff, right? And he's overall great. He's got a reputation on YouTube and everything. So just like you can take his word for what he's teaching, right? Another artist, yeah, like I said, maybe Psychra, yeah. When it comes to design, for example, I follow Elliot. Elliot's a cool guy on YouTube. I follow, there's this one girl who's with him, right? They're doing like a podcast together, which is great. I also follow the future Chris Do on YouTube as well. And so all of these two, for example, let's say like Elliot and Chris Do, these are like my superheroes, let's say, for when it comes to graphic design or design in general. And so when I take only these two masters and I just like follow them, that's already great. And there's going to be like me, who's like still learning how to do illustration and stuff like that. And there's like this branch, this almost like artist tree. And we have like Elliot, he's got, you know, cool hair, he's got glasses, right? And we've got Chris Do, who usually has a cap and is bald and is Chinese, right? And what's interesting, because these can be like my parents. Maybe we'll have another parent, who knows? But these can be the parents, and the people who are around these two artists, because the people, they have, what kind of people are they going to have around, right? Like artists like them, artists that appreciate. So from Elliot, for example, I can start following this girl that I was talking about, who also happens to have glasses and you know, I don't know, freaking hair. Right? And Chris Do has other people as well, not only in the design field but also in the business field, who I'll probably pick up and start following. And so it is good to just like pick a person to follow and just like stick with them. Once you've had enough of them, I suppose that sounds kind of rude, but what I mean is, once you've had, like, you feel like you've accumulated enough knowledge from them, you can move on to the people they like and the people they are around. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're choosing PROKO for this reason. Now I before starting the stream, by the way, I started, you know, I'm doing push-ups again, so that's great. Hopefully I grow the habit of like doing push-ups before the start of the stream, so every day. So that's great, that's one. Two, I was looking at courses, anatomy courses on just like on the internet, obviously PROKO related, and I'm going to have to, you know, decide. I haven't decided yet, which is why we're going to be watching just like some of his YouTube stuff, right? Today. So today we're doing that, and I'm actually going to draw a body just like right now before we start line of action, and then we're gonna watch the video. I don't really have a lot of hopes from the YouTube stuff, so maybe we're going to go with the interface changed. Wait a minute. Maybe we're going to go with the paid stuff. Not sure. We'll see. Let's pick a female. We have I've drawn a male yesterday, the day before. Okay, we can do this old lady. All right. I'm gonna be as rough as possible. This is just like sketching it. I want to get the strokes, as few strokes as possible, and conveying like the sort of like the idea of the pose, right? And so what I can see here, I like to exaggerate the contrapposto a little bit, right? So I tend to do that. Maybe that sounds fun to me, but maybe that'll change, who knows. So why did I do that actually? Let's keep it, no, actually not that exaggerated. And then we have this right here, and this right here, right? And one thing that I was forgetting, that the rib cage, straight up, right? So this is the rib cage, and this kind of makes sense now because this influences the shape of the breasts right here, right? Which is just great to acknowledge, right? Okay. And then we have like this right here. This is a line, and then this is very foreshortened. Now this sucks because foreshortening sucks. So let's start with with this leg first, because we escape what we fear. Yay! She's sitting on a brick, so, or whatever this is. So this is probably influencing some of the anatomy here. And also it's like hidden by the leg, so that's kind of annoying. So what we're going to do is this is almost like a side view. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to do a line right here, and look, right? And then right, something like that. And then this one is going to go over it. Right? That's an S curve. That's beautiful. Oh, I forgot about the S curve and the S's and the C's and the I's. So let's make this straight. Let's make this a straight or a C. We can make it a C. And then we have this foot, very foreshortened as well. So what we can do is we can do this. Okay, I'm gonna keep it that way actually. All right, this goes a little up, and like I said, actually, as well, something that I'm starting to learn is to forget about the anatomy. Well, not actually, no, don't forget about the anatomy, but keep it in mind, and also keep the lines and the proportions and all that good stuff in head as well. So seeing this line right here does help, right? How this goes from here to here and then goes down there. It does help, and so seeing that line right there, I can just like create this line, and it helps a lot. Yeah, so this one goes here, this one is here, and this one is there. And so we have another weirdly shaped foot. And that's a straight line. All right, Now this one's going to go here and here, right? Same, this one is going here. And there. And we have this line right here. Okay, the hands in this position is very difficult to me. So we're gonna do this. All right, that's easier. Yeah. And yeah, another thing I'm still struggling with is the position of the heads, in proportion to the body, right? So it kind of does help to place the circle there, but I want to be able to just place it, you know. Okay, that's a thick neck. I should not be making it that thick. Also, think about the foreshortening here. So make this right there, perfect. Right, we're not going for likeness here, so we can make the face like whatever. And then from under here, we have the neck, and there you go. Alright, this like I intend to make this very rough and very honestly, if I tried, it'd probably look kind of decent. Wouldn't be looking that great, but like I like this. I like how rough it is. And it's sort of like I said, helps me to focus more on the shapes rather than the details. So right. Okay, I think that's great. I think that's really cool. I can't imagine myself being able to do this like a couple of months ago, so that's great. Right now, since we are in the challenge, I'm going to, by the way, the PROKO challenge number 2. Whoever doesn't know, I picked up a challenge, the PROKO challenge, I think a couple months back, and I chose the head, right, to draw the head, and I chose to draw I chose to follow PROKO's videos on YouTube. And so this is the second edition of the challenge, and there's probably going like a few more editions because I chose PROKO to follow. So we're choosing anatomy now, and I'm going to have to watch for the rest of the month. We're going to watch a tutorial every day from PROKO about anatomy. That's it. Okay. So let's see here. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, this right here. All right, let's switch the screen to YouTube. Great. All right, this is 13 minutes. Let's get it.
Things have changed since we last saw each other.
That's wow. Okay. That's a great way to start a video. Maybe I should do that actually.
Hey! In case you forgot who I am, my name is Stan Prokopenko. I'll be your instructor for this course on anatomy of the human body for artists. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the course, why we study anatomy, what you'll learn from this course, and what's in the premium version of this course. First, let's examine why we should study anatomy. There should be no part of the body that's a mystery to you. If it's a mystery, then you won't be able to draw it accurately without copying the reference, or just making up stuff that doesn't exist. With knowledge, you can design the body to make changes. You can decide what to exaggerate, what to eliminate, or what to add that's not noticeable in the reference. When you're able to change your reference, you're no longer a slave to your reference. You can call on it when you need to. You can ask it for inspiration, and you can create your own unique work of art that stays true to your own vision and to the story you're trying to tell.
Word.
When an arm is up in your photo, but you need it to be down to create a better composition, you can do that. When a leg of some figure is too busy with information, you can relax it and just show the major forms. You can show more structure in a figure that you want to feel more solid and heavy. You can create characters that don't exist in reality. You're not going to find a model that looks like the Hulk or a zombie. This has to be invented. With a high level of understanding and some creativity, you have the power to create whatever characters you want. Speaking of creativity, fluency allows you to be more creative. You can tap into your vast knowledge base for ideas, to combine pieces of information in a new way. A fluent artist works quicker, creating a more natural, fluid creative process. But knowledge of anatomy doesn't only give you the ability to change your reference or draw from imagination. It also helps to draw the body to feel natural, to be believable, and to feel alive. You can pick up on the subtleties that an untrained eye would miss. You understand what makes the body look the way it looks, so you know how to draw it to look that way. If you have to rely on copying, you will misinterpret a lot of things, and you might not see a lot of things that are actually important. If you don't know what you're looking for, you probably won't find it. You can poke people and name their muscles to make them feel awkward. Biceps brachii. Pectoralis major. Gluteus maximus. Why to study the skeleton and not just the surface forms? I want to introduce you to someone very special. Someone you'll be seeing a lot of in this anatomy course. Please give it up for Skelly! You'll notice that I often go very deep into the body, all the way down to the bones. Many newer students will wonder, why are we studying the bones? I just want to draw muscles. The forms of the skeleton are very important because they're the foundation of the body. The bony landmarks help us track the muscles, as I showed in the figure drawing course, and will show a lot more in this course. The muscles are attached to the skeleton, so if you know the skeleton and where the muscles attach to the skeleton, the muscles become a lot easier to draw, paint, and sculpt. The skeleton is also very consistent from person to person. Muscles and body fat composition can vary a lot between two body types, but we can rely on the skeleton to help us figure out what we're seeing. A bodybuilder and a couch potato could have the same size skeleton, so the landmarks will be in the same spots, just covered with very different stuff. Also, understanding the joints means you understand the motion of each joint, and it will help you figure out how this motion affects the surface forms. Please don't skip the lessons on bones. You'll just be left with a pile of meat. So Stan, what's this course all about? As the title implies, this course is intended for artists. It's not meant to be a medical reference. We will be hyper-focusing on the parts of anatomy that an artist will need to know, and ignoring the parts we don't need to know. The deep muscles that don't affect the surface forms are of little interest to draftsmen, painters, sculptors, or animators. Unless you're drawing zombies, then maybe. 2D diagram versus 3D forms. The body is constructed of many types of forms. Bones, ligaments, muscles, tendons, fat. These forms overlap, inserting under and wrapping around each other. The human body is a very complex system of layers. And the volumes at the surface are also very complex. It's not enough to just study the front, back, and side views you typically see in anatomy books. Look at this group of simple forms. From this angle, it looks like this. And from another angle, it looks like this. The way these forms overlap each other appears very different from different angles. To accurately draw the forms from any angle, you need to truly understand the forms and their relationship. You can't just memorize the 2D contours. The body is the same way. The muscles overlap each other in ways that, when viewed from different angles, look very different. So learning the two-dimensional diagrams of the body is not good enough. You need to have a three-dimensional understanding of anatomy. In this course, I'll try to give you that, a complete picture of the human body. We'll look at the 2D diagram.
You know what I can do? Since I can't really, since I don't have a physical like figurine or something on my desk, I can download an object, a 3D object, and have it on Blender. Can I draw on Blender? Probably can. Can I do 2D stuff on Blender? If I can, then maybe we'll switch to Blender and ditch Photoshop.
And then study the 3D forms of the muscles. We'll also look at the tracking from origin to insertion, layering of muscles, fat, and other tissues, and most importantly, how the muscles look when the body moves to various positions. It's great if you know the shape in the anatomical pose, but what does it look like when it's flexed or stretched? And finally, how does it all look like on the surface when you add skin over it? Course structure. Those of you that have already visited the pre-sale page probably noticed that this course is split up into 3 parts: the torso, the arms, and the legs. Each part is going to be a thorough investigation of that portion of the body. 3D model. Each bone and muscle group we learn will be available as a 3D model for you to use right in your browser. After each lesson, you can open up the 3D model and study it further. Being able to spin it around and look at the muscles from any angle is helpful in truly understanding the 3D forms. So, what will I learn from this course? I'll teach you everything from the details of the deep muscles to the simplified blocky forms common to George Bridgman, how the layering of the muscles look like on the surface of a real person, cross sections to help you visualize the layering of the muscles. I'll present variations of body types, idealization, articulation, and how motion changes muscle shapes, range of motion, function of the body as a machine, and I'll actually show you how to draw this stuff.
That was believable.
Assignments and homework. Yeah, that's right. There's going to be homework. A variety of exercises to help you learn the information. You can't learn anatomy just by listening to me talk about it. It's important to actually use the information while you are drawing. Put in the effort by doing the assignments for each lesson. Practice what you've learned rather than binge watching all the lessons. The assignments are enjoyable anyway, so if you like drawing...
Oh, come on. Alright, I'm black.
Have a tag PROKO, or tag me at PROKO on Facebook, or rather than binge watching all the lessons. The assignments are enjoyable anyway, so if you like drawing and you like learning, this should be a very rewarding course. What you're working for. I've mentioned that studying anatomy is a long and difficult process. But man, it's so rewarding. all that sweat and frustration is worth it. Just look at some of the artwork that's done by artists that put in the time to master human anatomy. I find these incredibly inspiring. As you come across artists like these, save them in a folder and use them as idols of what you're working for. What's in Premium? As many of you know by now, I like to give away a lot of free lessons. It allows everybody to learn something, not just the people that can afford the full course. Every lesson in this anatomy course will have free content, and for those that want to continue learning, more in-depth lessons will be available by purchasing the full course at proko.com/anatomy. First, you'll get extended lessons. So the videos will be longer, covering more information about the muscles and some of the deeper muscles. You'll get to see more examples and drawing demonstrations, cheat sheets, and assignment answer videos. What I mean by answer videos is, in each lesson, I'll give you an assignment. In the premium videos, I'll actually show you how to do the assignments, so you can check your work. Another really big premium feature, as I've already mentioned, is the 3D models right in your browser. These will help you study the anatomy further, and they're a great aid for the assignments. Wow, Stan, that's awesome. I'm totally ready to sign up for the premium course. Well then, go to proko.com/anatomy. If you're posting your own drawings from these lessons on social networks, use the hashtag PROKO, or tag me at PROKO on Facebook, or at Stan Prokopenko on Instagram, so I can see your drawings. If you like this video, pass it on to your friends and classmates, and click this button here to subscribe to the PROKO newsletter so you don't miss any new videos. Bye-bye!
Okay.
Hey!
What?
Hey!
Bloopers, alright. That's interesting. That's fun. Maybe we'll take a look at the premium stuff. Like I said, I'm still very hesitant as to, do I really do the premium stuff or do I just like follow the YouTube stuff? Because the premium stuff is like he mentioned, it's more thorough and it's more, the structure is there. So we'll see how it is. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys, and yeah, add it on there and